Hi, I'm Greg Dell with attorneys Dell and Schaefer, and I'm here with attorney Stephen Jessup. And we are going to discuss what was basically a blockbuster deal in the disability insurance business, which was announced in October of 2017, in which Hartford Disability Company reached a deal with Aetna insurance company, in which Hartford would acquire Aetna's long-term disability insurance division and their life insurance division for $1.45 billion. So that, according to the press release that came out, that makes Hartford the world's second largest disability and life insurance company in the world. So this is huge. We've obviously handled thousands of claims with Hartford and Aetna, but I wanted to discuss what impact we think this would have on Aetna policyholders, because obviously for Hartford it's going to stay the same since it's Hartford acquiring Aetna. So let's start with, since we know so much about the different styles of their claim handling, is this good or bad for Aetna policyholders?
I think it could be something where they're going to start experiencing a level of scrutiny that maybe they didn't have from Aetna. Aetna, like any disability insurance carrier, is going to do, reviews, medical reviews, vocational reviews, things along that nature. But when we look at Hartford's usual, way of operating, especially in reviews of claims, I think claimants with Aetna policies around right now are probably going to find themselves more likely to be, under video surveillance. Independent medical evaluations, visits from field reps. So a lot of the steps that Hartford usually takes in reviewing and denying claims, I think now those Aetna insurers are going to start receiving that same level of scrutiny.
Yeah, I think that, so in my opinion, I don't think it's good for Aetna policyholders. Like you said, I think they're going to get a higher level of scrutiny, and I think they should be concerned, and if their claim has been kind of dormant or haven't had much action lately, they should be aware, because Hartford has had a policy of claims handling techniques that's consistent, not necessarily consistently good, but one of the most disturbing is the notorious field interview request. Mm-hmm. I mean, we get that call every single day. Oh, a Hartford rep called me, they want to come to my house. Well, guess what? Not only are they coming, but you can rest assured they already have video surveillance of you, and they're going to try to backdoor you and hide the video and try to get you to say something inconsistent than what they have on video, then pop you with the video, and then 2 or 3 months later send you a denial letter. Mm-hmm. So Aetna doesn't really do that. I've never really had Aetna rep will call you on the phone, but I don't recall any Aetna reps coming to the house wanting to do interviews.
That was not something they were known for. And even, Aetna does use video surveillance. You do see it, but not on the level that Hartford does.
And then IMEs are not necessarily a standard protocol with Aetna, although they do them more often than not on appeals. Hartford people need to be aware that you could all of a sudden get a request for an IME or a functional capacity Aetna policyholders, an IME or a functional capacity examination. So the other thing that's slightly different is, let's talk about the in-house resources of Hartford versus Aetna, internal medical reviews of their own doctors. What's your opinion on that, of Hartford versus Aetna?
I don't know if it's maybe just because you see more Hartford denials than you see Aetna denials. My personal opinion is, in reviewing claim files, it seems that Aetna probably provides a more thorough review. I think they give more opportunity before they deny a case, where Hartford will do in-house a simple internal doctor review, and if they have any type of video surveillance, even if it's really not that compelling, they'll kind of ride those to the claim denial, and I think really just see if the people are going to bother going through the appeal process before really starting to conduct a review. So I think the Aetna insurers who, like you said, maybe their claims haven't been scrutinized all that often, are going to find that, because Hartford's going to basically get all this new business, and the first thing they do is put a fresh set of eyes on it and see what they're dealing with. So you'd expect that if you were on Aetna by the beginning of this year or throughout this year, you're probably going to be getting calls from Hartford quite frequently, as they're trying to get up to speed on things, if you will.
Right. One of the big things that just came to mind is, how often do we see that Hartford claim questionnaire, which is 8 or 9 pages, which you never see from Aetna. You have a 1 or 2 page claim form, if you even get regular claim forms from Aetna. Now be prepared for an annual claimant questionnaire, which is, in my opinion, pretty extensive, and you have to be very cautious in how you answer those questions. So that's going to be a huge surprise for Aetna.
And one other thing too, maybe you're not on disability yet, but your employer does have Aetna or had Aetna, and you were thinking about it. Now that Hartford will be taking over, will be switching, the policy. Policy will be through Hartford, and Hartford does write policy language. There's more restrictions and limitations possible in a policy from Hartford than from Aetna. Outside of just the mental health limitation of 24 months, talking about, chronic fatigue conditions, musculoskeletal pain conditions. So the nature of your policy could even change.
Right, and just to give you an idea of the magnitude of how big some of these companies are, the press release said that in 2016, Aetna had collected $2 billion in premiums. Now that was for disability and life insurance. We don't know the breakdown of how much was disability versus life. I know from work we've done that the disability is a much smaller portion than the life insurance premiums that are collected, but super interesting deal, and the fact that Hartford wanted to become bigger, and basically for them it's a business decision. The bigger they are, the more premiums they collect. That's the name of the game. Collect more premiums, hopefully pay out less claims, and now it gives them a bigger internal resource and a bigger sales force potentially and also reach out to all the Aetna health insurance customers as well and try to sell long-term disability and life insurance to them as well. So from our perspective, it's not going to change much about what we're doing here. We're obviously equipped to handle the Hartford claims. Hopefully some of the Aetna claims people will go over to Hartford because we had some good relationships with those people, and there were some people there that did some really good work. If you have a Hartford long-term disability insurance claim or you're a former Aetna claimant, feel free to call any of our lawyers for a free consultation. We're able to help you anywhere in the country, and we look forward to the opportunity to speak with you.